Assalamu alaikum, Bokayi. Welcome back to the Jollof Football Bantaba platform. It's your boy Chama, guys, and it's Wednesday today, not Tuesday. Usually Tuesday we do the weekend recap of Gambian, professional players and any important development on Gambian football. We have it. I do it solo on Tuesdays. But yesterday was a crazy day for me. It was a very busy day, so I could not turn up for that. But I decided to come on here on today, Wednesday, to do the weekend recap. It's also the end of it's just the start of May, end of April. So as you know, we usually have the Jollof Football Bantaba player of the month for the local player, Space TV, Jollof Football Bantaba player of the month for the local league, as well as the Jollof Football Bantaba player of the month and the team of the month for the foreign based player. So I'm here to discuss all that. But it was also another, productive weekend for Gambian professional footballers. There were lots of goals scored. At least 10 players, 10 Gambian players scored over the course of the weekend. And some of them also have some significant result that meant they ensure their safety in the leagues they were playing. Some are about to play in the playoffs to gain promotion to the next level of the league they are playing in, and some are fighting for the league titles. There were some disappointing results, of course, but on the whole, you would say that it was a very, very good weekend. Some players winning trophies. There was a lot to discuss over the course of the weekend. Of course, it's usually very difficult to do all those things. So what we usually do, we try to summarize the best performances and then bring them to you. But nonetheless, we may mention here or there a performance, a significant performance or a significant result that will be, that is something that people will want to know about. But if you are new around the platform, we are currently live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We are live on 4 different platforms. So if you are watching us from any of these 4 platforms, welcome to the Jollof Football Bantaba platform. Welcome to the family, guys. It's a big family. Tey mom yaa ngi gis tey mom amles laa dóor tey ma ne tey Medina United ñëw ma sans xel waaye daa gis ne weekend bi I just started. I just returned to the gym, so dama ñëw pour flex tuuti a little bit moo tax ma tey ma ne bàyyi ma dóor Medina bi. But I love their armless shirt. It was supposed to be their kit, but there was some confusion. So I ended up with this one, but I really love this one, to be honest. I really love, because I don't have anything like this. Medina United, second division team in the Gambia. Big up to them. Big up to Tijan, their sport. He's their scout, and I believe their technical director or something like that. So big up to him. He was the one who got this one, who gave me this one. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, without wasting too much of your time, guys, let's get into the weekend recap first, and then later we discuss about the player of the month and the team of the month. The player of the month usually is voted by the Jollof Football Bantaba followers. So we put it out there on all our platforms. We are not like the followers is not that many, but we put it out all there, and there are many platforms out there. Big up to all those platforms out there, like Isonda Sports, Space TV, and maybe The Voice, all those platforms out there who also share our work so that we get more votes. Then after the votes are in, we count all the votes, both the ones in the polls, the ones that we are written. We sit and count every single vote, and then the player with the highest vote wins the player of the month. That's how we do it. We cannot find a better way to do it. We wish there was a better way, but I think that is also a good reflection of how players perform over the course of the month, because Gambians are not sleeping anymore about Gambian players. We all know what the Gambian players are doing at their various clubs. Even if you are not following them, there are many platforms that are helping us to know what they are doing. So people are very aware of the performance level, of the results of every player who scores. We all know who's gonna score. So that is a good thing for Gambian football right now. This has not been there in the past. So we have to say kudos to all those platforms out there that is trying to enlighten the Gambians about our football. So big up to any platform that is helping in this course. We are just a little bit. We are just a little part of that big family. So we appreciate all of them. So that's why I think the voting is a good reflection of the performance of players, and often like almost I can say 99%, 95% of the time, the votes also reflect on, like, for me, I'm an observer. I know basically what all these players are doing, which is crazy, but I basically know how they are doing. So like usually the votes are not so much different from what I think. maybe what I think it does not matter too much, but they are not usually different. The fact that I follow and try to monitor what they are doing, and then the votes happens to come and match with my thinking, um, that kind of give me a feeling that the votes is a reflection of what is actually happening out there as far as Gambian players are concerned. So I will talk about all those things. But yes, let's start with the weekend recap. We'll try to do this one as quickly as possible. Usually I spend a little bit of time discussing the weekend recap, but I will try to do this one as quickly as possible. Let's start talking about Ali. Ali, so I think he was the star of the weekend. I think many people will agree with me on that. Gambian star of the weekend. He had a wonderful, wonderful performance for Sport in Turkey. They were struggling a little bit, and then he has been their shining light this season. He has been their talisman, the leading goal scorer. He's currently on 15 goals in the league. Only 4 players in the league, including players like Oshimen, Al Nassi from Morocco. Like very few players are ahead of him in the Golden Boot race. He is 15. He has 15 league goals in the Turkish league, and this weekend he scored another one and then assisted. And he even had another goal disallowed for offside, which was very marginal offside. So he could have been on a brace. They won that game 2-0. He was involved in both games. Also, having a wonderful, wonderful season. If I'm not wrong, this is his most productive season to date. I might be wrong because there was a time he won a golden boot. I think that was in Russia or somewhere. He won the golden boot, but I cannot remember the exact number of goals that he scored. But this season has been up there as his best season as a player. 15 goals for Ali Sow this season. That is absolutely brilliant. The next one, Yankuba Minte. Yeah, I think he is very close second to Ali Sow. In terms of performance this weekend, I still think Aliso was like at the top in terms of performance this weekend, but Yankuba was not far off. He put in a wonderful performance, and then to cap it off with a goal and the man of the match, fans man of the match. This is also special. Like it's a special way to win man of the match. This is the first time, by the way, guys, he won the fans man of the match for Brighton. Like they call it the British Airways or some airways man of the match, because this man of the match is voted for by the fans, by the followers of Brighton Football Club. They vote on their platforms, and then the player with the most votes, similar to what we do with our Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month, they put a poll out there, and players will, and fans will vote. The player who comes out with the highest number of votes win. So regardless, just you need to be the highest number of votes. And of course, Yankuba Minte is coming from Little Gambia, so it's always difficult for him to win. Because if you look at it, let's say Yankuba Minte was going up against Mitoma for the man of the match. What happens? The Japanese will just flood the votes and then vote for Mitoma, regardless of what they think about who was the best player on that day. So it was very difficult. We remember Yankuba Minte against Manchester United. We remember Yankuba Minte against Chelsea. He should have won those man of the match, but in both occasions, Mitoma won the man of the match instead of him. Because of what? The voting is not always accurate. It's not always reflective of what the fans think, because it has been it has been infested by fans outside of the Brighton scope, because that voting does not care. Like me, I can vote, anybody can vote. Of course, I will go and vote for Yankuba Minte, but for him to win it this time, it is significant, because despite him coming from a small country and Brighton fans voting, and then he's going up against players from bigger nations, and then he still win the man of the match. That's why I say this was a special man of the match for him to win the fans man of the match. This is the first time he won it. Somebody can prove me wrong. Of course, he has won the Premier League man of the match 2 times or 3 times, if I'm not wrong. But for the Brighton fans man of the match, because usually you have more than one man of the match, that's why sometimes people will come to me and say, why are you giving this man of the match when the GFF is giving that man of the match over there? It does not matter. You can have as many man of the matches or as many player of the months as possible. It can be different. It's always about the opinion of a particular group of league. So like I say, Brighton, they have their own fans man of the match. The Premier League have their own man of the match, and maybe the Brighton, social medias, they also create their own man of the match as well. So it does not matter. If A is doing man of the match, you can also do man of the match, but just label it different from how A label their man of the match. That's all you have to do, because you have different thoughts, you have different ideas. But yeah, that's why I say it was a brilliant, and of course it was against his former club, Newcastle. And I know there are a lot of opinions about how he celebrated the goal against Newcastle, because he did it in the first time, apologize, and then he did it again, apology, started with the apologies, and then he went to them and tell them, I'm gone already. You guys have missed me, And then, after the game, he went and did an interview, and they asked him his thoughts and things like that. He said he wanted to prove them wrong, which is not, which is absolutely fine. He thought Newcastle would have trusted him and given him an opportunity. They did not, and then now it's their loss. Newcastle loss is Brighton's gain. Yanko Minte is banging in goals for Brighton. He became the first player in the Premier League this season to record 10 plus goal involvement of any under 21 player. The first under 21 player in the Premier League to record 10 plus goal involvement, which is absolutely ridiculous and really, really good. We know he had a mixed season. It's his first season in the Premier League. So like you can always say that here and there he can improve. When he play against the smaller teams, he could improve his performance and things like that. There were around things, some opinions about, Yanko Minte is fat, he's this, he's that, he's that. Yeah, I those things did not bother me. I think for his first season in the Premier League, I think it has been brilliant. Yes, of course, it could have been better, but for me, I cannot ask for more. 10 goal involvement plus scoring in the FA Cup as well, creating a couple of chances in the FA Cup as well. He have at least 13 goal involvement for Brighton over the course of the season. What else can you ask for from the boy? I think he had a very good first season in the Premier League, and now I believe he will settle in. And every single time he score a goal, he break a new record for Gambia. So what else do we want? Every single time he scores a goal, Yanko Minte breaks a new record for the Gambia in the Premier League. Yeah. So now, with his 6 goals in the Premier League, that is the highest number of goals scored by a Gambian in the Premier League. So, yeah, it is just brilliant. And, you cannot ask for too much from the boy. It's just 20. And his first season in the toughest league in the world, and then still people want to be critical about it. No, I think he has done wonderful in the Premier League this season. Yeah, and next, Abdoulie Jallow Jamano. Brilliant top player. We all love Abdoulie Jallow, especially when he's in form for the national team. He's brilliant. His club were in a very good position to gain that promotion to League One, but now it's getting really difficult. I think they will play in the playoffs, and they could still make it through the playoffs. But in the last few games, they have not had the best results that you would expect from them. This weekend, the result was not good, but it was not bad either. They got a late equalizer. Abdoulie Jallow coming off the bench and scoring that equalizer. A brilliant goal, just like you would expect from Abdoulie Jallow. Every time he scores, it's going to be a brilliant goal. And that's exactly what he did this weekend. Alassana Jatta scored his 19th league goal for Notts County as well this weekend. He's second in the gold. He ended the regular season second in the Golden Boot. He had a spell of 6 or 7 games where he did not score for a while, but yeah, it was good to see him back in the score sheet. But unfortunately, Notts County lost that one. But it did not affect their position in the league, because they could not really push for that top 3 to gain direct promotion, so they had to play playoffs, because they had their second half of the season has not been great. But to be honest, he has had a wonderful season. I was very disappointed that Mogolchich won their player of the season and their fans player of the season. I think Alassana Jatta had a big shot on that one. I believe at least he should have get one of those two. If Mogolchich gets the player of the season, and then I think Alassana should have get at least the fans player of the season, because he has been such a brilliant. He's their top scorer he's the top scorer for Notts County. So I feel hard done by that he did not win their player of the season, any of their player of the season. So yeah, but now they have to play the playoffs. They finished the season, I think, 5th, so they will play this against the team in 6th place, and then the winner of those 2 ties will play the team against between 4th and 7th. So the winner eventually will gain promotion to League One. So the league season, regular season in League Two is finished. But for Alassana, he has to go to the playoffs, and so he still have at least 2 more games to play before his season, comes to an end. Yeah. Alassana Irajang, yeah, he was in action for Port Brezova against DAC, Muhammadu Bajo's DAC. Both Gambians were brilliant in that game. Both Gambians, made it to the team of the week, despite Alassana Irajang's Port Brezova beating DAC of Mamadou Bajo 2-0. Mamadou Bajo made the team of the week as well, which was, he has been a dominant force for DAC in midfield throughout the season. He played every single minute nowadays, very well established in that team. I think he has kind of peaked at that team. I think it's about time that he take the next step in his career, even though he has been there just for a season. But I think he's just too good for that team now, in my opinion. He's having a brilliant season. But yeah, Irajang scored his 8th goal for Port Brezova in that game. He's also the leading goal scorer for Port Brezova, fully, like this season, it was his season. Last season, he came in a little bit late, adapting to the Slovakian league and all whatnot, before he could even break through into the team. But this season, he has been absolutely brilliant. He scored his 8th league goal for Port Brezova, and clubs are now, linked with him. 44, our transfer expert, if you look at go and check out his TikTok channel. He has something to tell you about Alassana Irajang. He's been linked with the move, so go and check it out on 44's platform. Usman Cisse also scored. Usman Cisse of Nome, he scored in their 6-2 win. He's also having a decent season in the Estonian second division. I think he scored four goals so far in 6 games they played, and he got a couple of assists as well. His club are right at the top of that league, yeah, it's very likely that they will gain promotion to the top tier as well. Siri Sanyang is a player that we have not had for a very long time, a player there was high hope for because of his how good he is as a left back. We can remember him at the under 20 World Cup in Argentina. He was brilliant for the under 7 for the AFCON as well. He was brilliant. He got his move to Bulgaria, which, if you ask me, I think it was not a good idea, considering the restrictions that you have in this league in terms of international players. It was not the best move for him. So it's either sometimes he's playing or he's not even in the squad, and it has been the case. Like, if they don't need to start him, they don't need to put him in their squad, and that is not really good. So nowadays he's been on the bench here and there, but they have a lot of restrictions when it comes to international players in Bulgaria, and I think that affected his career very much. If I was his agent, I would be thinking about moving him on to another club, unless he's the first choice, number 1 fullback in that team. It is difficult for him to break through into that team, because of the international restriction that they have in Bulgaria. I don't know everything in details, but there are some restrictions when it comes to international players. But yeah, it was a good weekend for him, I would say. He came off the bench and then scored his first professional goal. Of course, this is his second season as a professional, so he scored his first professional goal at the senior level. He did score for a youth team, but at the senior level, this was his first goal. Of course, George Seni Sanyang for his goals and stuff. He's a fullback, so of course he creates chances, he do assists, he do his defensive work very well. But it's nice to see him get in the goals as well, coming off the bench and scoring. Maybe that will, give the coach some more believe in him, to give him more minutes from the start and trust him more, and that would be wonderful. Another player, Salou Drame, brilliant goal. I think best goal of the weekend. He scored for me. Like, Alisson is up there with the best goal with that flick. I did not even talk about that flick. That flick that Alisson scored, it's absolutely brilliant. But Salou's goal was also brilliant. Salou Drame, like of Lillestrøm, like he scored a wonderful goal. It was a solo goal. He dribbled past. He played a 1-2 with one of his teammates, and then dribbled past 2 or 3 players, and then slotted into the fourth, into the bottom corner. It was just a brilliant goal, and he's also quietly having a good season in Norway, in Lillestrøm, Norway. I think in the last 3 games he has 3 goals and 1 assist. So it's somebody we should keep an eye on. Salou Drame, 22-year-old, playing for Lillestrøm. Masise, another brilliant goal. The placing of his shot was absolutely brilliant. He came off the bench as well. His club were losing 2-0. He started the comeback, scored the first goal, and then they ended up drawing that game 2-2. Omar Jane, another brilliant solo goal. This kid, of course, Spanish, he has played for Spain at youth level, but there is still glimmer of hope that he will come and represent the Gambia, guys. Yeah, brilliant goal. Step over, cut into his left foot, bottom finish. That was a brilliant finish from him. I think he has scored 16 or 17 goals so far for the youth teams at Atletico Madrid. He's having another brilliant season for the youth team of Atletico Madrid. Lamin Silla Owens, he for Olympiacos. It was a big weekend for Olympiacos. The youth team, the under 19s, they won the Superliga, and the senior team, they won this Greek Superliga as well. So the Olympiacos under 19 and the senior team both won the title of the of this Greek leagues at their various level over the course of the weekend. He went to witness the trophy presentation or the winning of the senior squad, and he was also involved with the under 19s, and they won that one. So brilliant from him. Congratulations to Lamin Silla Owens. He had a wonderful season with the youth team. Scored a few goals, even I think played a few games in the UEFA Youth League. They are the defending champions of the UEFA Youth League, but they were knocked out in the quarterfinals, I believe. Yeah. Momodu Jata, another player who is growing in stature. Of course, my brother Sirif Jaju is the agent. That is Ibanor Sports. Momodu Jata is having a wonderful time at Bosnian club Sarajevo. This weekend he put in a brilliant performance. They won 4-0. He assisted the first goal. He helped them to the clean sheet. He started that game, and now he's growing in stature. He's gaining the trust of his teammates. He's gaining the trust of his coach, playing more minutes, starting games now, which is brilliant to see. This is what we want to see. We want to see as many Gambians, playing as many minutes as possible. You look at Jesper Cisse, he also got on the assist. He assisted in Cesena's 2-1 win in the Italian Serie B. James Gomez is somebody, he has gone silent a little bit, but this weekend he was not. Others were, they are at the top of the league. He lost his place, by the way. Recently, he was not playing regularly, but now he was back in the starting lineup, and then he showed the coach why he should not be benching me. He put in a man of the match defensive performance, and I think so for live score, like flash score, they gave him the man of the match because he was the highest rated player in that game. Put in a decent performance. James Corey. It's good to see him back in the starting lineup for others. Ivo Adams. I can sit here and just talk about Ivo Adams all day, and people will think that he's my favorite player, but he's having a brilliant season. That's why I can spend a lot of time talking about him. The state that he met Derby County at the start of the season, he was there last season. He joined them on loan last season. At the middle of the season, he pushed them to promotion. He scored their goal of the season, I believe, last season. At the end of the season, the fans just wanted to keep him. And keep him, they did. And this season, he started off very well. And then they went down. They were at the bottom of the table around the middle of the season. They were at the bottom of the table. And then I think they sacked their manager. They lost some of their players. And then Ivo Adams stepped up and took the captaincy. But he, throughout the season, he has been absolutely consistent. Especially when it comes to the defensive work that he puts in for this team, the defensive duels that he's winning. And like I said last week, he scored 6 goals this season and created a few assists as well. Goals has not been part of his game, but this season he has chipped in with his fair share, 6 goals. But then you look at what he's doing defensively for the team. Ivo Adam won 199 tackles over the course of the season. 199 tackles he contested over the course of the season. The next best in the league, in the championship, is around 170. So he's more than 25 tackles more than any player. And then the number of blocks he has done, no player has reached that number. the number of tackles he has won. And the most important thing is, most of the time he wins his tackle is from the midfield side or the attacking side of the pitch, which will create a chance almost immediately, like a counter pressing opportunity. Even in defensive areas, he is in the top 5 players for tackles won. So in every single area of the pitch, Ibu Adams is being dominant, winning, blocks, interceptions, and then you see the goals that he scored. So it was not surprised that he was the player of the, he's won all the player of the season for Derby County. Fans, players, player of the season, and the club's player of the season. He should have been in the championship team of the season. Yes, a biased Gambian will tell you that he should have been there. And I will not be wrong. Like, I don't think I'm even wrong to think he should have been there, because he was absolutely brilliant. And then it was not just the defensive work, but also the goals that he was contributing to the team, helping the club, captaining the club in the second half, or taking up that leadership also. He has done a lot of stuff for this club. Brilliant season. And finally, they are safe. They drew 0-0 over the course of the weekend, and they are safe. They will be staying in the championship, which is absolutely brilliant for Derby, because they just came up. So it would have been a tragedy if they had to go back down immediately. And Ivo Adams, has been a huge part why they are staying in the championship, to be honest. Sirif Sinyan, I'm also happy for Sirif. He joined Cluj in January, right? And then there was an established club. There was an established club. They are at the top of the Romanian league. Something was working for them already. And then Sirif Sinyan came. So it was difficult for him to break through into the starting 11. I can remember when Johnny called him to the national team. I was fuming because he was not playing. He was not competing at that time. I was fuming, because for me, it's always about the players who are competing and then playing for the national team. Sirif was not at that time, but he came in, and then he showed why Johnny called him, because he put in some decent performances, especially in the second game. I think he was one of the best players for Gambia on that day. And then he went back to his club, played a couple of cup games, played in the quarterfinals of the cup and the semifinals of the cup. They're supposed to play the cup final, I think, this midweek or the upcoming weekend. He started those games, but he could not get any minutes on the league until this weekend. This weekend, he got his first start in the league, and then Cluj won that game. He was one of the best players. If you look at the ratings, he was one of the best players in the game. And also, Cluj kept their first clean sheet in the league in 5 games. So you can see the correlation between bringing in Sirif Sinyan and then getting the first clean sheet. So I cannot see them, taking him out of the team for now. And the cup, I think he will start the cup final as well. And if he win that, it will be brilliant. He was even, yeah. I will come to the Jollof Football Bantaba Team of the Month and tell you why he is also in the Jollof Football Bantaba Team of the Month. And other players, Muru Lion Jai also helped KFUM kept their first clean sheet of the season. He has not started the season very well, my boy. He has a few, struggles here. Even when he came to the last national team, he had his struggles. But maybe that was because of, it was during preseason. It was not at his peak. But yeah, he got his first clean sheet of the season with KFUM in the league. They got one in the cup as well. So it's a good thing that he is coming back to his form. He's regaining his form. Aliou Jatta recorded another clean sheet, 15 consecutive starts for Aliou Jatta. He's doing really well. Of course, Johnny does not fancy him for his team, but I think after Ibu Toure, he's the best left back we have right now, or the best player who's left-footed and can play left centre back or left back. Aliou Jatta has been one of the best performers, most consistent. 15 consecutive starts for him. He plays 90 minutes of almost every single game. His club, I think they have gone 5 games in the league without a defeat. So, yeah, another clean sheet for him, back-to-back clean sheets in the Egyptian league. Omar Choi, my boy. This is also a very interesting one. In Luxembourg, Choi is playing in the 2nd division of the Luxembourg League, but his club, Luxembourg City FC, they are fighting for that promotion to the top tier. This weekend, they won a very important game, 3-1, and they moved to 5th place in the league. And in the upcoming week, they will play the team that is 4th. So if they win, they can go into the top 4, and that will mean they have a chance to go gain their promotion through the playoffs. And Joya is having a brilliant season there as well. My boy, yeah, keep it up. And finally, Abdullah Manneh, Mayaldi. This weekend he did not score. Of course, he's the Jollof Football Bantamweight Player of the Month. I don't think that's a secret. But this weekend he did not score, but Mayaldi still win. 1-0. He had a hand in the game goal though. Because his ball, he was the assister of the assister, something like that. He assisted the assister, and they won the game 1-0, and that meant they moved to the top of the Swedish league. They were defeatless in April. Abdullah Manneh was absolutely killing it in April, scored some brilliant goals, scored a hat trick, you remember, and that's why he was the Jollof Football Bantamweight Player of the Month. And another player that I will mention is Francis. He also won the cup. The one I posted it today, Francis Gomez. He won the cup with Everton. Everton under 21, they won the Liverpool County Cup, which is his first trophy there. This is a youth cup for clubs around the Liverpool County, and they were the champions. And Fra started the game, but of course, he got a red card, I think, around the 82nd minute. But yeah, his team could hang on to win the game. Like 4-1, they came from behind, from 1-0 down to win the game 4-1, and Fra had a brilliant game. Yeah. So guys, that is it for the weekend recap. So I will just mention a few things about the player of the month. I've not even talked about that yet. So let's just move on to that one. Abdullah Manneh, he's the Jollof Football Bantamweight Player of the Month, of course. Like I say, he played 5 games, won 5 matches, scored 5 goals, and created a couple of assists. And yeah, it's not me who decide who is the Jollof Football Bantamweight Player of the Month. It's usually our followers who vote. We just count all the votes, and then we decide who is going to be the Jollof Football Bantamweight Player of the Month. And your votes were counted, and Abdullah Manneh won. And yeah, I think I absolutely agree with that. I don't think there was any other player who deserved this month's Player of the Month than Abdullah Manneh. And his performance showed that 5 goals, 2 assists, brilliant hat trick. Don't forget the hat trick he scored at home soil for the first time. He's scoring in his scoring goals in his home ground for Mayalbi. It was absolutely brilliant. He's also nominated for the Player of the Month in the Swedish League. Yeah, he's nominated. 3 of his teammates, two other teammates of his are also nominated. They were brilliant. That's why they are at the top of the league. They started the Swedish League absolutely flying, and Abdullah Manneh has been the shining light, or has been the main threat for them so far this season. He's the one scoring most of their goals. He's second in the leading goal scoring charts. Just one player has scored more goals than him in the league. So yeah, well deserved Manneh. Brilliant month. I will go on to discuss the team of the month. The team of the month. This one, of course, is it's not a voted one. This one we decide who is going to be in the Jollof Football Bantamweight Team of the Month, and basically it's based on the performance of players. It's sometimes very difficult because sometimes you want to capture some positions in the team, and then you cannot. We went with a 3-5-3-2-3-2 formation. Again, like it has been a problem for a very long time, central defense. It was difficult to choose a central defender, or Gambian central defender. Sirif Sinyan was the only one who had a claim, because why? Sirif Sinyan played 2 cup games, like I mentioned earlier, and then they won both. That was the quarterfinals of the cup, the semifinals of the cup, and Sirif Sinyan was huge performer in both games. Those were the only 2 games he played, but he was very good in those 2 games that he played. And then if you look at the other center backs that we have available, there was no other center backs who was really impressive in terms of minutes, in terms of, I was talking about games he's not played. About Kohli, we have not seen him for the longest time, so yeah, it was difficult. Mohamed Sane also, he had a decent start with his club. Kyrgyzstan. Difficult. I cannot pronounce the country, but yeah, his with his club. Yeah, they played well this month. 4 games, 3 wins and one loss. Ayas Ata, that's the name of this team. Ayat Ata, I believe. Rectify me if I'm wrong. And then you have Ibuture. Ibuture was brilliant as well. 7 games he played, like Mr. Consistency. He was ever present for Stockport. They won 6 of those 7, and then they drew one. Ibutre was started all those 7 games. So what else can you ask for from Ibutre? I saw somebody say Aliou Jata was a better player than Ibutre during the month. I like El Guna. They did not play a lot of games firstly in the month, and then most of their games were draws. I think they only had 1 win, and then they lost one. Most of the other games were draws. So that's why Ibutre was ahead of him. 7 wins, 7 games, 6 wins, and 1 draw. And then, Ibutre is playing in the championship. So that is a very competitive league as well. So it's difficult to justify Aliou Jata selection over Ibutre. I think Ibutre completely deserved that. The goalkeeper, Lamin Sarr, he has not been hard off in a while, but he's going about his business very well with his club Lunds. Unbeaten in the month, 4 games he played, kept 3 clean sheets, only conceded 1 goal in those 4 games. Like, he was the best Gambian goalkeeper by far during the month. That's why he's in the team of the month. Mahmoud Bajo, like I say, ever present for DAC, brilliant player. I would be surprised if he is not up there for their player of the season, because that's how brilliant he has been for them. Of course, it's difficult to know how good he has been performing because he's a midfielder. If you don't watch the games, you don't see him in the goals, you don't see him assisting goals and here and there. So, like, the main statistics that kind of stick in our heads as football fans are the goals, the assists. Maybe those are the ones you will talk about. So usually a midfielder, you don't know the value of a midfielder. You don't know the performance of a midfielder unless you are watching the games and then seeing what they are doing in those games. Of course, I don't watch his games. Sometimes I watch the highlights here and there, but of course, I follow the ratings. I look at the numbers and what he's racking up. And, he was in the team of the week without even winning. His club lost the game, but he was in the team of the week. That's just the type of performances that he is putting in for his club, DAC. Iwo Adams, like, nothing else to say about Iwo. He was absolutely brilliant in that final stage of the season for Derby County, scoring 1 goal and assisting 1, and then, leading them to safety in the championship. What else can you want from your captain? That's exactly what he did. Hamza Bari also come in. Hamza Bari coming to make the midfield trio. Hamza, I wouldn't say Bailey are doing really, really good, but he has been a standout. He has been starting regularly for the whole month. He has also chipped in with a couple of assists, helped the club to a couple of wins as well. That's why Hamza Bari is in there. His brother, by the way, Abubakar Bari, is also having a brilliant season. But it was a disappointing week for them because they were at the top of the league ahead of the weekend. They lost to Salzburg, and then Storm Graz won. So now they are 3 points behind Storm Graz after clawing back 6 points within the space of 4 days. Abubakar Bari, Hamza was a better player during the month, so that's why we have Hamza Bari as in the team of the month. And then you have Abdoulie Manneh, player of the month. What else can you say about Abdoulie Manneh? I've said it all. Bamba Suso, another player who is quietly doing his business in Slovakia second division. Yesterday too, he scored his 12th league goal of the season. Alumnici, they are on course to gain promotion. They are 5 points at the top of the second division of the Slovenian league, so they are more likely to go up to the Slovenian top tier. And then up top you have Adama Bojang and Boubacar Tambedu. Both were brilliant. Both of them scored 3 goals. Adama, that wonderful hat-trick against Lausanne, and Boubacar Tambedu, you can remember that brace he scored against Kalju with that brilliant goal. And he also chipped in with an assist. There was the other day he came off the bench and scored the winning goal for his club Levadia, who are at the top of the Estonian league. So there you have it, guys. That is the Jollof Football Bantaba April 2025 team of the month. And finally, we talk about this one. This one I should not be talking about it. It should be space. This is usually space is space. This one is usually Hamadi or space cis space. Yeah, but yeah, Bakary Jatta of BST Galaxy winning the Space TV Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month for the GFF Force Division. Brilliant, brilliant. He has been brilliant. 4 games, 5 goals, and 1 assist. There was no player close to him, like in terms of the goals that he scored. I think the next best in the league was 3, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and Bakary is becoming the second BST Galaxy after Khalifa Jatta won last year, June. So congratulations to Bakary Jatta. Space have spoken about him. Or so not much to say. But the thing is, we are taking our local player of the month to the, like, we are trying to improve the local player of the month. So we have this new restaurant that we opened. Let me just go there. Sorry. Yeah, we have this new restaurant, Elite Braza that we opened. It is located at Kotu, next to West Coast Radio. They are offering free dinner for 2. So Bakary Jatta is the winner of the GFF First Division Player of the Month. So he gets a free dinner at Elite Braza, which is a new restaurant just opened last month. So this is our contribution also to the Player of the Month. Try to make it more attractive for the players as well. This is little thing I know, but yeah. I think it's a wonderful gesture. Elite Braza, guys, if you want some good food, good, like, just go and visit us, guys. We are located in Kotu, next to West Coast Radio. This is the building. Let me show you the building. That's the building of the new restaurant. You can see the antenna of West Coast Radio just right behind it. So we are just right next to West Coast Radio. You can visit us. There is a steakhouse there. There's a restaurant. There's an ice cream parlor. So visit us, guys. Visit us. You will not regret it. The customer service is going to be top notch. It's going to be top notch. The food is going to be very tasty. You will really enjoy it. So if you have not, please make it a date that you to visit the Jollof Football, the Elite Braza restaurant in Kotu. So the winner of the Space TV Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month will have a dinner for 2 at the Elite Braza, and then we will take care of them, give them some good food, and then so Bakary, we are looking forward to having you on the Elite Braza. We will arrange that sometime in between the middle of the year. So logistics are usually sometimes a little bit tricky, but we will have that at the middle of the year at the Elite Braza, the new restaurant that we open. So yeah, guys, make sure you visit us as there. The final thing I will touch today is the Gambia Chan team. Like I said, named his 23-man squad. There were a lot of echoes. There were a lot of complaints about some players missing in the last game. One in particular was Abdurrahman Job Nani, who happens to be one of the former winners of the Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month, Space TV Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month. And he's back in the squad after, like I said, he was injured for the last game. And then you have a player like Omar Jum, who was not also in the squad, but he's now now he was not in the final squad list. He was not in the squad, the whole squad last time, but now he's back in the squad. Strange things happen with this Chan team. And then Gaira Juf, he was in the squad or the match day squad, and then all of a sudden he was not in the match day squad. Gambian organization. That is the thing. These are the areas we have our problems. But these players are back, and the boys are going to play their game against Algeria. A big game, because the winner takes all. The tie is still open. Gambia drew 0-0 in the Independence Stadium in the first leg. Now they go to Algeria to play the second leg. Will not be easy. Playing against these Arab nations in their own backyard is never easy. We all know that. But we have some quality players. We have some good players in this Chan team. Hopefully, they will turn up on the day, and then they will get a result that will take Gambia to the Chan nations, the Chan competitions for the first time in the history of the country. We have never qualified for that. So if we win Algeria, will be our first ever time participating in the CHAN competition. Yes. So guys, there you have it. That was the weekend recap, and Machaba Halsi team of the week, and then looking at the CHAN team. So I will now look at your comments. If there are any comments on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or on TikTok, I will react to those comments, and then I will call it a night. I might go to TikTok and spend there a little about 10 to 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and then I will call it a night. I have to sleep early, wake up early, because I have to go to I have appointment in the morning, early in the morning. It's already late here. Yeah, any comments out there? Let me see on TikTok. Let me see on TikTok if I receive any comments. If I don't have comments, then I will call it a day. Yeah, I'm looking at the TikTok right now. Who is there? Yeah. With some new followers. Thank you guys for following, and thank you for the likes on TikTok and all that. Really appreciate it. But I will take some guests on TikTok, and then I will just head over there, spend some time, then bounce. Yeah. Anything. If Gambia lost, Gambia will be eliminated. Of course. If we lost, we will be eliminated. Somebody asking that. If Gambia lost, if we lost, we were eliminated. But let's remain optimistic and hopeful that Gambia will win, and then we can make it to the CHAN competition, guys. Yeah, guys. There you have it. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me on Facebook, thank you. If you're joining me on Instagram, on YouTube, or on TikTok, thank you for joining me. I'll be live on TikTok for now, but I'm gonna go offline on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So TikTok, if anybody wanna come in and join me to have a 1 or 2 chats on Gambian football, I'm here for 20 to 30 minutes. And on YouTube and on all the platforms, thank you for joining me. Until we come your way again, guys, Jeremy and Jeff, and goodbye.